Here are some questions you never ever ask your realtor when hiring somebody who represents you. Number one, what's my closing gift? What are you going to get me when I buy my house?
I care about you. Here's some pine cones on a stick.
Number two, how many years have you been in the business? We hear that so many times. Don't ask that question without asking these other questions to make sure that you don't get taken advantage of in today's market. The final question is really going to surprise you, especially since what I just said. Hey, I'm Joey Stanberry, also known as the Bald Realtor. I'm top 2% in the DFW metroplex when it comes to real estate agents. And hey, I have helped 300 families in the last 5 years. I'm ready and willing to help you. Are you ready? 100 houses sold, 20 houses sold, 10 houses sold, 2 houses sold. You need to understand how many transactions since they've been a realtor they have done. Ask that question. The answer you don't want is I don't know. If they don't know their own numbers, how are they going to know the numbers on your house? Are they a listing specialist or a buyer's agent? There's a difference. Now, don't get me wrong, both can do both, right? A listing specialist can help buyers as well. The thing is experience. And if you look at their reviews and you see that they've helped buyers and you're hiring them to list your house, or they've helped people list their house and you're hiring them to be your buyer's agent, if you can take a look at these other questions and see what their answers are, I believe they may make you feel either good or bad. Again, if they've done a lot of business and a lot of transactions, then they've definitely done both listing and buyers. So you may not have to worry about it as much, but you need to ask that question and hear the answer to it. I see you looking at me. I see you watching this video. Have you subscribed today? You need to do it down below. One of the things that you're going to be looking for is reviews. Now, granted, you don't want to go to Google and look up reviews and only look at the reviews that have their same last name. That's probably their family, right? But you want to make sure that other people that have used their services feel great about using them. So ask the question, hey, where can I go to find your reviews? Where can I go to find your references? You want to make sure you know who you are dealing with. You want to know that other people talk about how great the communication is. You want to know that other people talk about, hey man, I felt valued. You want to feel valued as their client. So if you see that others feel valued as their client, then you can expect you yourself, when you're doing business with them, you'll feel valued too. So make sure you ask the question, where can I find your reviews and or references? What is their marketing plan to sell your house? Make them show you what their marketing plan has been with other homes. I have a plan I can show them from the beginning to the end. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to send you boxes. It's going to help you start to pack up some stuff and declutter. I'm going to also take care of your flower bed. We're going to get the mulch all cleaned up, any weeds, any grass pulled out of there. I will have your house pre-cleaned, deep cleaned for you before we even start showing the property. Also, we're going to have a pre-pick meeting. What is that? That's where I come in and I say, hey, here's what you need to do. In this room, I want you to get rid of this. In this room, I want you to keep that. We're going to set the photo appointment. And then when the photo appointment is done, we're going to talk about how the printed marketing is going to be and how the social media marketing is going to be. You want to know what's going to separate your house from all the others. So that definitely needs to be a question that you ask. Okay, the next thing we want to talk about is strategies. What strategies are you going to do to bring buyers to my house? If they stutter or they look confused when you ask that question, you need to hit the end button right now and say, hey, you're not the realtor for me. You want to know that they're going to spend money to market your property. We go back up to mailers. Mailers are a great way to promote your property. Fantastic way. You want to be visible. How can you be visible? Well, you got to put the sign in the yard. That's going to promote your property. Flyers are going to promote your property. Social media marketing will promote your property. So we have to put that out there for them to see. And then maybe paying a little bit of money for advertising. If a house doesn't sell, it becomes an expired listing or a canceled or withdrawn listing. You need to know from the person that you're interviewing how many expired listings they have or how many canceled listings they have. Expired shows that the house didn't sell. Canceled or withdrawn shows that the seller removed the house from the market. You want them to have under 10% expired listings. In today's real estate world, you need to understand that the days on market, the days that a house sits on the market is longer than 30 days. Where I'm at in DFW, the Dallas-Fort Worth market, We're seeing houses set up on the market for 120, 160, 180 days. That's 6 months on the market. So gone are the days, 2 to 3 days and multiple offers. We're not seeing that right at the moment. So you really need to understand and get a grasp of how an agent is going to strategically market your home after the 30 days. The answer you don't want to hear that should be sending off sirens in your head is, oh no, or I don't know. That's going to cost you thousands of dollars. The thing you do want to hear is that they've been there before and they know what they're going to do. They're going to list out those offers. They're going to go over the good, the bad, the ugly with you, and you're going to talk about it together. When you're talking about negotiating a contract, what are the other things other than price that need to be negotiated? So if you're sitting down with a realtor and they're saying price is everything that you need to be worried about when negotiating a contract, that is wrong. You need to hit the eject button. You need to tell them, sir, ma'am, it has been nice knowing you, but you need to exit. The other things that they need to be thinking about negotiating is repairs. It could be the number of days on the financing addendum. Well, that means that you are giving them a certain amount of days to get approval from their lender. You can negotiate the option period. You can negotiate in that your client gets a lease back. What is a lease back? They better have an answer for that. Again, these things, if they don't know about, hit the eject button. How often are you going to communicate with me as your client? That is paramount when you're hiring somebody. It doesn't matter if you're hiring them to change your oil, to fix your car, to build your home. If people are not communicating with their client, that is a big, big problem. The answer you want to stay away from is that they don't have a process in place for communicating. The amount of hours they take to call you back when you call them. The amount of hours it's going to take them to respond when you send an email. When a transaction moves from being on the market to going under contract, whether you are the buyer or the seller, you need to understand as a client how often your realtor, your representation is communicating with a lender or the title company in that contract. If no one is talking to the lender of a potential buyer for your house, there's an issue there. There needs to be weekly follow-up and follow-through, making sure the lender is doing what they need to do for their buyer to buy your home. You also need to be making sure that they're keeping on top of the title company. They may even have staff that helps them with the process, and that would be called a transaction coordinator. If they have a transaction coordinator, fantastic. That means that they have somebody designated for that job that's going to take care of it. The question that helps tie everything together is this last question. How many years have you been a full-time realtor? They may say, well, why is that the last question? Even if they've only been a full-time realtor for 1 year or for 6 months, they may be one of the best realtors around. I remember personally when I was a realtor and I was young in the business, I worked harder than anybody around me. My way to get my foot in the door as a new realtor was to outwork and out-hustle anybody. To tell my potential client that I will deliver results, and I had no doubt about it. My background would speak to that. I personally closed 33 deals my first year, which the average is around 12 deals a year for a seasoned person. I closed 33 deals because I outworked and out-hustled everybody around me. I followed up. I developed strategies and strategic practices that would help me move property. So you really have to do your due diligence when you're going to hire somebody. Do me a favor and don't just hire a person off the street. Don't just call somebody because they sent a mailer to your house saying they sold 2 properties in the last 20 years. Don't just allow your sister, your brother, your aunt, your uncle list your home. Take your time and hire the right person for that right time. So these were the top questions that I believe you need to be asking your next real estate agent. But today, I'm going to actually give you something in your hands by giving you a PDF download with these questions and information so that when you are interviewing, you have something to look at. Please take the opportunity and download from the link below.